Welcome to Gentle Restorative. My name is Sandra. Go ahead and take a comfortable seat and close your eyes. From here, strong inhale through the nose. Cleansing exhale. And then let's go ahead and draw the shoulders up. Take them back and down. Hold them there. Drop the chin toward the collarbone. And if that already feels tight, you might just gently take the head back and forth a little bit. You can roll the head forward and to the side. So just kind of do whatever feels right to you. And when you're ready, you'll bring the head back to center. Go ahead and inhale the arms up and exhale the hands to the heart, Anjali Mudra. And we're going to pause here to set an amazing intention for our practice. And then go ahead and release the hands when you're ready. Big inhale. Loud exhale. Perfect. Inhale, take the arms up. As you exhale, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you. So we're going to just let the hands go there. Don't take the whole body in a twist, just the arms. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, now take that twist to the left. And then keep breathing. Stay in your twist. If you want to move a little bit, you can. And then I want you just to think about past day, perhaps. And where I'm heading is I kind of want you to think about the cards. I'm putting that in little quotes here. The cards you've been dealt. The cards you were dealt in the past 24 hours. What'd you do with them? I don't, mean a physical deck of cards. I mean the cards that life hands out. Go ahead and release that twist. Move around with that upper body. And slowly come back to center. Inhale the arms. Exhale, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you. Keep facing forward with the upper body. We're going to inhale here, find your length. Exhale, now twist to the right. And so in thinking about what life dealt you out in the past day or two, I want you to also think about how you, I was going to say dealt with that, no pun intended, how you reacted. Did you just go along with those cards? Did you decide, heck, I own this deck, I can trade some cards in? What happened? Wait for that exhale, come back to center, and give me some upper body kind of half circles here. Perfect. So what I want you to do is just go ahead and stretch out the left leg, keep the right knee bent. My right hand's behind me for support. My left hand's in front of that bent knee. So sit up nice and tall here. And let's just see what this feels like. If the hips aren't happy being at 90 degrees, then go ahead and slide your blanket underneath your hips. And then we're going to just kind of add on layers, I guess, if you will, with the left arm. I'm going to give you a bunch of options. So first, we're going to sit up tall. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, use the leverage of the hand against the outside of the knee to take the twist to the right. Okay, so if you are happy where you ended up, that's option A, stay right there. Option B, if you need a little more twist, instead of the hand providing the leverage, let's get the inside of the left elbow to hug that right knee, and that'll give you a little more oomph in your twist. You can draw that knee in a bit closer. We'll call that option B. If you still want a little bit more out of your twist, and let's bear in mind we just started this class, so please don't push yourself. But perhaps you were warming up prior to our class and yeah, you want a little bit more, then take that left elbow all the way across to the outside of that right knee, sit up again, and then push off against the knee for maybe a little bit more to that twist. So I dealt you the pose. The pose is Marichyasana, but I'm letting you choose which card you're going to go with. Are you going with A, hand in front, B, elbow holding the knee, or C, elbow coming all the way across? So see, you have choices. And so the point of our theme today is about, do you have to succumb to the cards you've been dealt? Do you have to sit back with whatever happens to you, or do you have choice? So we'll talk about that. Go ahead, give me a big inhale. Exhale, release that twist. Perfect. I'm going to let the right foot back off a little bit, bend the left knee, and then let's just grab onto the front of the knees and round out here into a seated cat. Let the chin drop and hold it right here. So just kind of releasing the effects of that twist. We held it for kind of a while I chatted away. Stay right there. Let me turn around. Okay. Give me an inhale. Sit up nice and tall. Stretch out the right leg. Pull that left knee in. Take the left hand behind you. Front foot's flexed. Of course, you don't have to pull the left foot in as close as I pulled mine. It can be anywhere along the inside of that right leg. Remember, option A, right hand in front of the left knee. Let's sit up tall. On your exhale, take the twist to the left. Let's just kind of see how that feels. All right, so if you get here and that's enough of a twist, you're staying here. If you want a little bit more, crook of the elbow will hug that left knee, and then you can sit up again and add a little more twist. And if you want option C, right elbow comes all the way across to the outside of that left knee, and the elbow and knee are actively pushing against each other. Okay, deep inhale. Exhale, gently release the twist. Plant both feet on the mat. Let's find that seated cat pose again, just rounding out the spine. Drop the head, close your eyes. And on your next inhale, pull yourself back up. All right, let's set up our first restorative pose, shall we? If you have props, what I'm looking for is a strap, a blanket, and a block. Okay, so the blanket, I'm just going to make that a neck roll or a pillow, whatever you prefer. I'm going to toss that out behind me. The strap, go ahead and put a loop in it. If you do not have a strap, I'm not worried about it, so you shouldn't be either. But you could use a belt. You could use the belt of a robe. You don't have to actually use anything. It'll be okay. All right, I'll give you a second to get that. Okay, take that block, bring it within reach so when you lay back, you'll be able to grab it. Feels good already. Get your head situated on your blanket, exactly where you want it. And then I'm going to bring my knees in so I can get my feet through that circle I've made in my strap. Keep it nice and loose for a moment. And when you're ready, set the feet back down, hip distance apart. The block is going at its thinnest width between the knees. And then now I'm going to tighten my strap. I'm a little stuck. There we go. So the point of the strap is to hold the legs in place with the block between them and you don't have to work to do it. So if you do not have any props, what I would suggest is taking the feet out to the width of the mat and letting the knees fall together, and then you'll be in the same boat as those who do have props. You won't have to work to hold the legs in place. All right, let's close our eyes here. We're going to empty out the lungs. Pull the stomach in. Slow, deep inhale. Hold the breath. Slow exhale through the mouth. And then a natural breath or two, or 3 or 4. And then empty out the lungs again. Pull the stomach all the way in. Inhale through the nose. Hold the breath. Exhale through the mouth. Let it go. We're going to do that one more time. Empty out the lungs on your next exhale. A fulfilling inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. And let it go. So while you hang out right there, let me tell you a story. The story takes place centuries ago in a small Italian village where there was a small businessman who was he was in quite a bit of debt. He owed a lot of money to a loan shark, and he really didn't have the means to pay it back. He did, however, have a very beautiful daughter, and the loan shark got it in his head that if he were to be able to marry that daughter, he'd forgive the loan. Now, the loan shark was quite a bit older and, shall we say, not so attractive. And so this really horrified the father, but he felt like he had nothing else he could do. There was no way he was paying back this huge debt. And so he agreed. And the daughter, now horrified, is kind of just sitting back to see what's going to happen. So what the loan shark decides is he's going to make this seem very fair. He has a burlap bag, and he tells the father and the daughter that I'm going to put a white pebble in the bag and a black pebble. And if the daughter reaches in and chooses the white pebble, not pedal, the debt will be forgiven and she doesn't have to marry him. However, should she choose the black pebble, then she will have to marry him to forgive the debt. I'm going to leave you right there hanging with the story for a moment. We're going to take another deep inhale. Hold the breath. Cleansing exhale. So let's go ahead and take the block out from between the knees. If you have a strap, you can just grab on to pull your legs in towards you. Give them a hug. Rock it out a little bit, hip to hip. And then let's go ahead and straighten both legs up towards the ceiling. If you have a strap and you want to hang on to it to hold the legs in place, more power to you. If you don't have a strap, you can take the hands behind the legs. You might be able to reach up and grab on to the big toes. You could turn so that your heels are resting on a wall. A lot of options. And then let's go ahead and point and flex. So the cards I've been dealt tonight are the possibility that you can hear one of my dogs upstairs whining and pacing and barking, but I can't get mad at her because she just had 2 teeth pulled, and so she's a little sad. So those were the cards that she was dealt. So I hope it's not too loud for you guys. Nice. Okay, next time the feet are flexed, go ahead, start to bring the knees back in, and then we can free ourselves from that strap and set the strap aside. Hug the knees back in. All right, take the arms straight out from the shoulders. Hopefully you have room. If you don't, scarecrow. And then let's drop the knees to the left. If you need your block underneath the bottom knee, go ahead and grab it. So we've already done quite a few twists, right? In Marichasana, but we're gearing up for a couple more and some restorative poses. So I just want to make sure that the spine feels like we've spent time warming it up. You can take that left hand right on top of the right knee and just pull down a little bit. Send that right shoulder more towards the earth. And then inhale here. Exhale, we'll bring the knees back to center. Stay here for the inhale. Exhale, knees to the right. And then you can set that right hand up on top of the left knee to help with the twist here. Get that left shoulder to push down. And then inhale. Exhale to center. Stay for the inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and set the knees right on down to the earth. We're going to go ahead and roll to a side in a fetal position. And then peacefully push your way up. So one of the restorative twists we're going to do is going to stretch out the shoulders a little bit. So we're going to warm them up. And those of you, I won't call out any names in particular, that have shoulder issues are most likely going to want to change up the pose. I'll help you out with that, but please don't do it the way that I'm going to show you first, okay? Is that fair? Go ahead and take the loop out of your strap. So when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and take that strap out in front of us, longer than shoulder width apart. I've got a firm grip, so I've got my strap nice and taut. And then we can go ahead and start to lift the arms. Now watch the buckle. I don't want you to get hit in the head with it. So if you want to take your strap a little more lopsidedly, you could, or you could grab the tail end and hang on to it if you want. If you don't have a strap, you can still lift the arms up and feign that tension, right? You can imagine it. You can feel it. Keep the arms strong. It will be okay. So let's go ahead and inhale. Take the arms up. Watch the shoulders. And what I mean by that is if they want to go up here, you're going to pull them back down. Let's hold it right here. Draw the stomach in, sit up tall. I'm going to drop my chin down. Take the arms back 1/4 of an inch, maybe just a tiny bit. You can widen out on that strap to make it easier. Okay, breathe into the stretch. Inhale. As you exhale, head comes up, arms come down. We're still pulling on that strap or belt. Nice. Nice. Soften the arms, roll the shoulders back a couple of times. All right. Again, pull on the strap. Inhale, arms up. Try to keep the shoulders down low. Slowly drop the chin. Maybe the arms go back a teeny bit more. Maybe they don't. Remember, just because I am suggesting this is what we do, I'm not dealing you cards that are penned in ink. The pose is in pencil. You can erase whatever part of it you want to. You can change whatever part you need to. Okay, inhale. Exhale, head back up, arms come down. Relax, roll the shoulders out. You might switch directions. I'm going to set that strap down, take the right arm across the heart. And switch. And then release. I'm just turning around so you can see. We're going to take the arms behind us into Yoga Mudra. So interlace the fingers and then start to bring the shoulders down first as you straighten out the arms. So you should feel the shoulder blades pulling in towards each other. So we're just warming up those shoulders. Give me a couple more breaths here. Okay, go ahead and gently release and shake that out. All right, so you can leave your blanket for your pillow. That's totally fine. I'll show you the pose, and those of you with shoulder issues are not doing it this way. I'm going to give you an option, right? Okay. So we're all going to come down on our left side. In fact, you can come down with me. Those of you who do not have shoulder issues, the left arm is going straight out behind you. Okay. So I'm going to turn around. I'm going to do my other side for a moment. Straight out behind me. And I'm coming all the way down. If you have shoulder concerns, instead of taking the arm behind you, go ahead and let it come forward. It will be much happier. And if you're happy, I'm happy. Okay, I'm going to run into the wall here. So we're all on our left side. Some of us have our left arm straight out behind us, and it's not down, alongside my body. It's straight out from the shoulder. Or you have the arm straight out in front of you, right? Okay. Knees are bent. I'm going to keep the bottom knee on the ground where it is. I am going to open up that right knee and hip and set that foot down. Okay, right knee aiming up to the ceiling. You could take that right hand for a moment, put it on your right hip and just push the hip down towards the right foot. It'll lengthen out the side. If you want to, you can leave the right hand here. Where I was headed with this is taking the right arm and bringing it around behind the low back. Okay, so again, I'm going to turn in the other direction for a moment in case that didn't make any sense at all. Okay, so it would look like this from behind. So I'm working on drawing the top shoulder back, as well as kind of creating more of an open space by pulling that top knee back. Now remember, this is supposed to be restorative, and you're supposed to be happy here, so make whatever changes you need to. You should be able to close your eyes, smile, settle into your space. And I will distract you by telling you the rest of the story. All right, so remember we left off with the loan shark. He's going to put 2 stones in this bag. One's white, one's black. And if the very attractive daughter pulls the white stone, she's free. There's no debt. If she pulls the black one, well, she has to marry the loan shark so that her dad's debt will be erased. So they're standing kind of in a path of pebbles. There are stones everywhere. And the loan shark turns and he bends down to pick up a white stone and a black stone. He doesn't know that the daughter is watching him. And what she sees him do is pick up 2 black stones and put them both in the bag. So now she has kind of a quandary. You might think, well, no, she doesn't, just call him out. But she doesn't really want to call him out. So one option she has is, well, she refuses to reach into the bag. Option 2, she could call him out, reach in, pull out both stones and show that he's cheating. Or she could just reach in and pull a stone and sacrifice herself for her father's benefit. Okay, I'm not telling you what happens yet. Give me a deep inhale. Hold the breath. Loud exhale. We're going to bring that right hand back around in front. I'm going to go ahead and slowly lower my right knee. And then as you kind of roll towards your heart, you should be able to bend that left arm and get the hand to the earth to gently push you back up. All right. Roll that out a little bit. Hopefully that was a very good shoulder opener for you. Let's try the other side. So let me turn this way. We're coming down on the right side. Again, you might have a great shoulder on one side and a little hesitant one on the other. So you decide what you need to do. If you're okay, that right arm is stretching straight out behind you. Knees are bent for a moment here. Keep the bottom knee down. Open the top knee. Plant the foot. Take the left hand to the left hip and push it away from you. Hold it there for a moment. Remember, your option is to have that right arm stretched straight out in front of you. And then if and when you're ready, you can take that left arm all the way around behind you. I'm going to kind of tuck my fingers in underneath my right side to hold the arm in place. And then just close your eyes. All right, so this is what happens in our story. The daughter reaches in and she pulls one stone. But as she draws her hand out, she accidentally drops the stone in the midst of this vast pebbly path. And she says, oh my gosh, I'm so clumsy. I'm so sorry. But if you look to see which stone is left in the bag, you will then know which stone I pulled out. And of course, there's a black stone left in the bag. And the banker isn't going to say that he cheated. He's not going to say anything at all. And so she goes free and the debt goes free. The moral of the story is you have choices, you have options. You just need to sometimes think outside the box with the cards you've been dealt, right? Kind of like this pose. If you don't like it, think outside the box. You don't need to wait for me to tell you to change it up. Change it up, right? All right. Give me a fabulously deep breath in. Hold it for a moment. Big exhale. Left arm's coming back across. Release the left leg. Tip forward so you can slide the right hand in and gently push your way back up. Perfect. Let's come to a seated position just for a moment to give the shoulders a break. Move them around a little bit. You might find you want to stretch the arms back forward again. All right. I feel like I should give you a very shoulder-friendly restorative pose next. It'll be similar, but very friendly. All right. You're going to need, let's see here, 2 blocks, bolster, I think the blanket would be helpful as well. So let's see here. You're going to put the bolster on your left side. Okay. So this is the head of my mat right here. That's probably where I'm going to end up. Well, let's just do it. Let's just throw the blanket there if it's not still there. Excuse me. And then I'm going to prop the top part of my bolster with one of the blocks. And this is still right next to me. And I don't know what's going on with my throat chakra here. And then we're coming down on the left side. I feel like I'm off just a tad here. All right. So as I come down on the left side, knees are bent again, but one block between the knees. My left arm is going underneath this bolster. So make sure you have it lined up close to the blanket, which is your pillow. And maybe now you can't see me. I'll drop my block a little bit. So left arm's going underneath the bolster. Right arm bent at 90 degrees in scarecrow, right on top. I'm sure you already have your eyes closed because what's not to like about this, right? Perfect. You stay right there. Enjoy it. So this idea of, do you accept what you're dealt or do you work with it? And that's kind of a two-part answer, because if you're not accepting what's going on around you, then perhaps, well, I guess what I want to say is I'm using the word accept, and there's kind of two different definitions of it. Yes, we have to accept what we're experiencing. I have to accept that the dogs are now going crazy upstairs, to which I apologize since you're in a restorative pose. My choices are to continue chatting with you and let that go on. I could leave you here and run upstairs and ask Anna to be quiet. So think outside the box, or I could possibly be thinking, well, I know she's going to settle down in a moment. Whatever she's barking at is only temporary. So get creative with what comes up in your world. And shortly, I decided, since we're talking about cards we've been dealt, I will pull an oracle card for you. And you will have to deal with the card I pull since you're not physically present with me. However, that doesn't mean we are all going to come up with the same definition or meaning for that card. All right, I want you to keep your eyes closed. And I want you to take your focus to your breath. We're just watching the breath as it gently moves in and back out. Hopefully there is nothing but peace in this pose for you. You feel content, satisfied, happy. You feel the breath moving in and releasing. And what do you notice more? Do you notice the front ribs moving forward with the breath? Do you notice the left side ribs pushing down towards the ground? Or maybe you notice the right side ribs lifting up. It's possible you're noticing you're breathing into your back. Just want you to pick one. There's no wrong answer here, I promise. Okay. If you feel the breath in the front, I want you to shift it to the back. If you feel it in the left side ribs, I want you to shift it to the right and vice versa. And see, so just because we felt it one way initially does not mean that's what we have to live with. We can switch it, right? We can use some imagination. We can practice moving the breath. Or we might notice that, wow, I think it was there all along on the other side. I just didn't feel it there initially. Yes, there go the dogs. All right. Slow, deep inhale. Hold it. And exhale, let it go. Perfect. You just can't get upset with her. All right, so we're going to slowly make our way out of this pose and back up. You have an option here. You certainly, as we've been talking about, do not have to work with the cards I'm telling you. So would you prefer to just turn and face the other way and grab your bolster and block and take them with you? Do you want to move everything to the other end of your mat to turn around? I don't know. It's up to you. So you figure that out. I, of course, will have to turn around so I can continue to spy on you. All right. When you're ready, you're coming down on the right side. The block is between your knees. The right arm's going underneath the bolster. You have a pillow for your head, and that left arm is up on top of the bolster. And then just close your eyes and settle into your space. And then taking the focus again to the breath. Notice where you feel it the most. And then see if you can switch that to whatever you would call the opposite. And while you're right there, just going to send a quick little text message upstairs reminding my family that we're in yoga. Because that's me thinking outside the box instead of yelling upstairs. All right, deep inhale, hold the breath. Let it go. And when you're ready, you can slowly make your way back up so we can set up for something else. Okay, give you a minute to get there. I'm thinking you're going to need your bolster. You're going to need a block. You know what? I think you're going to need it all except for the strap. So go ahead and grab everything. That bolster is going behind you vertically. I am going to use one of my blocks to prop that up. And then I want to slide away from my bolster. Usually I tell you to back up so you can feel it. You know, give yourself some ample space. We'll just play around with this and see how it feels. So we're going to lay back into Supta Baddha Konasana. And so that's cobbler, right? Soles of the feet together, knees go wide. You have these two extra props, and so you can use them underneath the knees. If you really hate the fact that you've got a blanket under one and the block under the other, take the blanket, swap it out for the other block so that you feel more balanced. Totally up to you. So I'm just going to lay back. I don't know. I've got quite a bit of space behind me. I want to let the low back just totally soften down towards the earth. So instead of being all the way up my bolster, probably somewhere close to halfway. And then again, legs are in cobbler, props under the knees if you want them. And then as you just kind of release the arms, will you keep the palms facing open? Now, go ahead and soften the low back. It's probably the mid back all the way down to the low back. Just soften a little bit. And if you don't like this, change your cards, right? If you don't like this, scooch back up a little bit if you want to. You might find that this is a good change. Who knows? And while you're there, I'm going to pull the oracle cards over and see what we come up with for all of us tonight. Yeah, this one's calling to me. All right, let's see what we got. This is a perfect card for having you in a restorative pose. This card says, rest and reconsider. Well, you're already resting, so I'm not exactly sure what each of you needs to be reconsidering, but remember I said the meaning's going to be different for each one of us. If you're not comfortable in this restorative pose, that's what you need to be reconsidering right now. I am totally sure of that. So let's see here. The edge of the card is purple. That's a crown chakra, kind of third eye chakra color, a very spiritual color. And we've got a young man sitting on the side of a rocky cliff, and he's got a backpack next to him. His hands are folded over his abdomen. His eyes are closed. And so he just looked very pensive. So I want you to be fully open to allowing the body to be in a restful state right now. I get you're in a restorative pose. That doesn't mean you're resting. I want you to let go. And I want each one of you to think about, what is it you need to reconsider? I am feeling pretty confident that something is coming to the forefront of your mind, right? What comes to the forefront of mind is something I've been dealing with for a while and trying to figure out frantically. I feel like I'm just all over the place. I think I need to reconsider perhaps how I am approaching the problem or the issue at hand. What does it mean for you? Come on, something in the past day, week that you've been, I don't know, trying to figure out. It doesn't mean it's a problem, something you've been trying to figure out. And so rest and reconsider. The fact that the word rest and reconsider are together also implies to me that we don't necessarily want to overthink this. Because sometimes when we just close our eyes and we veg out, especially in Shavasana, and we let go, it is amazing how the answer just pops into your head, right? If you are struggling to come up with an answer to something, I'd highly recommend kind of setting that out to the universe before you go to sleep. Set your intention that you want to dream of the answer. I find that extremely helpful. I'm not going to lie. I think it takes a little practice, perhaps, to remember your dreams. But gosh, my favorite story about doing that is I And I might have told you guys this, I'm sure I've told you this before. This goes way back. But I remember my daughter lost her cell phone and it was gone for like a week and a half. I think she was in like junior high. We couldn't find it anywhere. And so I put that out to the universe before I went to sleep. Just thank you for showing me where his phone is. And I dreamt that night about her guitar case and that I unzipped it and her phone was inside. And, you know, when I got up, I'm like, that is the dumbest thing ever. Why would it be in her guitar case? But sure enough, when I came downstairs and unzipped the case, the phone was in there. Does that happen all the time for me? No. But you know what? I think when we stop the overthinking process, it is amazing what comes to us and what energy we can pick up on. So rest and reconsider. You might even save whatever you're thinking about for Shavasana, because I'm not sure how you can rest with me talking your ear off. But like I've told you before, it feels very strange to just sit in a quiet space by myself and not say anything to you. So at least come up with what it is you need to think about, and we'll let it soak in and marinate and work its way to our brains in Shavasana. You might even be curious to know, I don't know anything about numerology, so I cannot help you with this, but the card has a number 9 on it. If that is meaningful to you, I'd love for you to put in the comments under this video how you interpret that. And yeah, that's about it that I can give you off of that card. So go ahead and take a deep inhale. Hold that breath again. When you're ready to exhale, go ahead and straighten out the legs at the same time. And let's go ahead and point through the ankles. Hold that. Flex the toes back. When you get to an exhale, release. We're going to stretch the right arm across the heart. We've already done this a couple times. Use that left hand to help it out. Circles with the right wrist. Deep inhale. As you exhale, switch arms. And circles with the left wrist. Inhale. Exhale, release the arms. And so I'm just going to have you kind of tip off of your bolster to whichever side feels more natural to you. Go slowly. Long way to go, all the way down to a fetal position. And then go ahead and come on back up. We're going to move the bolster. Let's replace the block that is behind you with your blanket, which is so much softer. So blanket and one block. And then go ahead and come on back down. Perfect. Okay. So go ahead and set the block down for a second. Reach the arms way overhead. Interlace the fingers. Turn the palms away from you. Keep the fingers interlaced. Inhale, bring the arms straight up towards the ceiling. Hold it there, plug the shoulders down. I'm still keeping the fingers interlaced. I'm going to let the arms move to the left. They're not going to go very far because the tendons in your left forearm are going to stop you. Gently come through center. Take the arms over to the right. You'll know when to stop. So keep that right arm straight. And then bring the arms back to center. I'm just going to rotate my hands to come to prayer pose and let the hands drift down to my heart. Fabulous. Okay, so this is where we're headed. Go ahead and take that block over to your left side. Arms are straight out from the shoulders. Draw the knees in, and you can do one knee at a time if you want. Look to see where that block is. We're trying to line it up so we can drop the knees to the left in another twist. And make sure that right shoulder stays down. If your block is too far up, you can move it away from you if the twist is too much. And then just close your eyes. So what the heck is with all the twists today? I felt that they kind of go along with the theme in the sense that twists kind of have this, I don't know, symbolism, connotation, if you will, of wringing out, right? Can you imagine wringing out a towel? We are wringing out our typical perception of the cards we've been dealt so that we can release our original opinions and beliefs and reactions and kind of reopen that towel to experience something new and different. So it's kind of like the girl in our story. She came up with a very unique solution to her problem. And I know you can as well. If you want to, let's just call this option A. You can stay right here. If you feel like you need a little bit more, you could stretch out both legs right over that block. We'll make that option B. You could maybe reach and hang onto the feet if you need to. You could definitely use your strap to do that. You don't have to straighten out the legs. The block is not the most comfortable support to do this. And then go ahead and release if you straightened them out. We're going to pull the knees back to center. Set the feet down for a moment so you can realign the spine and the hips. We're going to move that block over to the right. So arms open straight out if you have the room for it. Pull the knees in and gently take them to the right. Pull that left shoulder down. Make sure you feel restful in this pose. If you're not completely happy, reconsider. I don't mean reconsider your happiness. Reconsider what's not making you happy in the pose and find a way to change it. And then if you want to, I certainly don't have room on this side, but you could go ahead and find a way to straighten out your legs. I'm just going to put mine up the wall for the moment. And if you straightened the legs, go ahead and rebend them. Slowly bring them to center. Let's set the feet down so we can straighten out the spine again. And then we're going to keep the feet on the mat, hip distance apart. If you built your blanket up pretty tall beneath your head, I need you to flatten it out a little bit or remove it. I'm not a huge fan of props underneath the head for bridge, but if it's nice and low, that should be okay. I leave that up to you. Go ahead and pull the stomach down, low back down, and then let's slowly lift the hips up. Perfect. Stay for a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Come on back down. We're barely touching down. Inhale, right back up. Stay here. Breathe. On your next exhale, come on down. Same thing. Once you touch and you're ready for your inhale, go back up. If this is bothering your knees, try lifting the heels. And again, wait for an exhale to come down. You might have already done that, which is perfect. We're going to inhale, come up one more time. And when you're ready, release all the way down. Take the feet to the edges of your mat, and we're just going to windshield wiper the legs here. Can you link this movement with your breath? And then I'm going to go one more time to the right to balance out. You do what you need to do to make sure you've done both sides equally. And then when you're done, hug both knees in. And then let's go ahead and get some momentum from the crown chakra to the root so we can come all the way back up. You can take a few times rocking to get that momentum. I just figured it was something a little different than the fetal position. But once you get all the way up, I want you to go ahead and grab your props. Figure out how you want to lay them out for Shavasana. Make sure you're going to be extremely comfortable because why? Because we're going to rest and reconsider. So I need the whole body to be happy. I'll give you a minute to go ahead and set that up. So part of this theme is about, as I already said, thinking outside the box. What if we can't? What if we feel like we're stuck in the box and we can't even think of something different? I want you just to then question. Just start asking yourself a bunch of questions. And so if this card, where I'm headed here, if this card doesn't make any sense to you, just question it. Thank you, universe, for, giving me a sign or an inkling as to what I'm supposed to reconsider. And perhaps that comes to me in Shavasana. Perhaps that comes to me later when I go to sleep. Perhaps I remember it from my dreams tonight. Give me a deep inhale. Super loud exhale. And let it all go. You'll know when it's time to come out of Shavasana when you hear my voice. Keeping your eyes closed, take a moment to acknowledge your breath. And then allow it to deepen slowly but surely. Feeling that beautiful breath expand within you. Feeling rested, as our card asked us to. And then, if you choose, you could invite some movement back into the body. You might choose to stay still. And when you feel ready, go ahead and gently, peacefully roll to a side in a fetal position. And then when you're ready, go ahead and push your way back up into any seated pose, keeping the eyes gently shut. And then give me a deep inhale. Hold the breath. Huge exhale. And just allowing my words to be yours for a moment. I am open and receptive to this idea of rest. That perhaps what I reconsider is the moments of my day when I am the opposite of rested and peaceful. I might choose to reconsider the stress and the worry. I am open to thinking outside the box, especially in what I feel like I'm being asked to reconsider. It doesn't mean I have to go there. It just means I am open and willing to consider a different answer, a different choice, a different reaction. I breathe in peace and exhale, just letting go. Inhale, take the arms all the way up. Bring the palms together and exhale them back home to your heart in prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. The light in me bows to the light in you. And when I'm in that place in me and you're in that place in you, then we become one. Namaste.